Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. In the previous session, I was talking about hedging. We were talking about the hedge ratio. And you were going, what are you talking about, Williams? Well, here we go. Let me explain a little bit about hedge ratio. Optimal number of future contracts. An airline company anticipates the purchase of 2 million gallons of jet fuel in 1 month and elects to use heating oil futures for hedging. We suppose that the information below gives, for 15 successive months, data on the change of S in the jet fuel price per gallon and the corresponding change in future prices for the contract on heating oil that could be used for hedging prices changes during the month. We're looking at this hedging. The first question you're going to ask is, why heating oil? This makes no sense, but there's no jet fuel futures contracts. So you have to do a little substitution and you have to find some correlation. We'll get into that later, but let's just focus on hedge ratio. We suppose that the information below gives for 15 successive months data on the change, looks like delta of S in the jet fuel price per gallon and the corresponding change in F, delta F, in the future price for the contract on heating oil that would be used for hedging price changes during the month. The number of observations, which we will denote by NIS 15. We'll denote the observation on the change of F and the change of S by X of I and Y of I, respectively. Table 1, just the month, price per gallon. You can see we have some variance here, and then we have covariance. Then we want to see the relationship here. So we're looking at the month and whatever. What are we doing here? All we're doing is we took the sum here, then we took the average, and then we looked at the variation, and we just did this across the board. Here, we just did the same thing. Then here we have a covariance of point F33 divided by 14. Remember, you have that. If you have 15 observations, you need to. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Statistics, you always need to subtract 1. Well, here we go. So we have 14 observations. This one, G33, this covariance, B36. So correlation between, what we're trying to do is correlation between jet fuel prices and heating oil futures prices. And you can see they're pretty closely correlated. In terms of explaining covariance, correlation, I'm not going to do it. This is not a statistics class. Bust open a stats book. We're not going to get too terribly deep into stats here, but we might in the valuation session because we're going to have, well, we'll wait and see. So minimum variance hedge equals correlation coefficient times standard deviation. I just showed you that, of change in fuel prices per gallon, change in fuel prices per gallon. We're going to look at fuel prices and future prices. See that? So we got 92 times 0.2625 right here, which is going to be the standard deviation. And this is a standard statistical practice. And we're going to divide that by probably the standard deviation in the months. Heating oil contracts trade on the NYMEX represent 42,000 gallons of heating oil. The optimum number of future contracts is correlation coefficient times gallons of fuel needed to purchase next month divided by heating oil contract size. The proper number of contracts is 37. Now, keep in mind, these are estimates subject to change. This is not set in rock. This is finance things. If it was 100% certain, then somebody would be really, really rich. This is going to be on average. Remember that word, on average. It's going to be around 37 contracts today. When you're doing this kind of stuff, you're going to have to babysit. In other words, you're going to have to modify this information, number of contracts from time to time, called trailing the hedge. And we'll get to it. The variations here in jet fuel prices, I suspect, what's the variance here on, okay, we've got a variance. It's not too crazy. And then the standard deviation, what are we looking at? C18, C32, 18 price a gallon. It's not crazy in terms of huge changes. But anyway, you're going to have to watch this. Details to follow. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Thanks for watching.